Hey, so today we're going to do just a short little yoga flow, just staying on the ground, not even really getting up. So going to work the back, the hips, the sciatic, the hamstrings, just the lower part of the body a little bit today. So we're going to go ahead and start on our back, pulling knees to chest, and just releasing the back here. We can hold on underneath the knees. We can rock a little bit from side to side, just releasing the muscles in the back. And then bringing the hands down by our sides, our feet hip-width distance apart. And then we'll go ahead and connect in with the breath, taking a nice long inhale, and then as we exhale, pressing through the feet, lifting through the hips, coming up into bridge pose. As we inhale, slowly releasing the spine back down to the mat. Vertebrae by vertebrae as we inhale, as we exhale, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, slowly bringing the spine back down to the mat. Exhaling and pressing up. Inhaling and releasing down. Exhaling and pressing up. Inhaling and coming down. And one more time, pressing up. And inhaling, releasing. Let's go ahead and pull the knees back into the chest, releasing the back here. We can either roll to one side and push up, or we can just find ourselves coming up into a seated position the easiest way we can. For the body, we'll go ahead and come into a nice easy seated pose, inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, twisting to the left. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, twisting to the right. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling, twisting, using the core to pull us around, setting the arms, and inhaling, coming up, exhaling, twisting, and then this time we'll go ahead, inhale, reach up, taking that left hand to the side, reaching over with the right. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, reaching over. And then inhaling, coming up, exhaling, reaching over. And one more time, using the breath to help move us through. And then coming back to our seated position, we can go ahead and take the knees wide on the mat here. So we're going to do a little bit of 90-90 work. Working on the hips, we want to work them independently and slow and controlled. We're not just going to flop from side to side. We're going to go ahead and take that left knee and drop it independently as far as we can before we go ahead and move that right knee over and come into that 90-90 seated position. And instead of leaning away from it, we want to kind of go into that a little bit, getting a little bit of work into the hips. Breathing into that. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides, moving this right leg independently as far as it can go before we move that left leg over. And again, sitting up into that. And we'll go ahead and switch sides again, moving the legs independently. Nice controlled movements. And sitting up nice and tall. Breathing into that. And then we'll go ahead and go one more time back to the other side. And then we'll go ahead and come around, moving our way to all fours. So we want to go ahead and stack our joints. We want the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And we're going to go ahead and move through cat and cow using our breath to guide us. We want to engage the core, pulling the belly button into the spine, rounding the back, coming into cat pose. And then when we reverse the curve of the spine, moving the tailbone up to the ceiling, letting the rest of the spine follow all the way up to the top of the head. Moving with the breath, moving into cat, pulling through the belly button, engaging the core, moving through into cow. And we'll do this a couple more times, just moving with our breath, going at our own pace, moving with our breath. And then we'll go ahead and go into cow one more time. Letting the tops of the feet come onto the mat as we sink the hips back onto the heels. We can let the forehead come down to either the mat, the back of the hands, or we can stack the fists. Just meeting the body where it's at today. Letting that back release. And then we'll go ahead and come around and come into a seated position. We're going to go ahead and take and cross the right ankle onto the left knee. And we'll go ahead and place our hands back behind us for support. We're just going to slide this left leg up and then press the chest in towards the shin. Getting a nice stretch here. Remembering to breathe into it. If we feel any discomfort, we want to come back out of it. And then we'll go ahead and switch. We'll cross that left leg onto the right and then pull up and in and then press the chest in towards the shin and the thigh. And then we'll go ahead and release. We're going to go back onto our back. Again, pulling knees to chest. We release here. And here we're going to go ahead and place the left foot down, taking the right foot and putting the ankle on the knee, placing the right hand and putting a little pressure and pushing that knee away from us just a little bit. And then we can release that. If twists don't feel good on the body, you can skip this part. So what we're going to do is just keep the shoulders on the mat and let the lower body move over to the left side, letting that right foot come to land on the ground. So just a nice little twist here. But again, if your back or your spine or any part of your body does not want to twist or you feel pain or discomfort, immediately come out of it. Don't go into it any deeper. And then we're going to go ahead and come back up to that starting position. We're going to go ahead and reach through, grab hold of that left hamstring and pull that left knee towards our chest again. Here. And then from here, we're going to take that right foot off the knee, tuck it underneath the knee, grab hold of that right foot with the left hand. Now we drop the left foot to the ground, and then we slowly release the right knee to the ground, keeping that foot in the hand up by our glutes. So we're stretching through that hip flexor, through the front part of the right leg. And then we're going to go ahead and release that. And then switching sides, taking and crossing the left ankle onto the right knee, putting a little pressure on that left knee and pushing it away from us slightly. Just noticing any sensations that you're feeling. And then we can go ahead and release that. And again, if twisting is not an option, stay in this position. Otherwise, we're going to keep the shoulders on the mat and let the lower part of the body twist over to the right side, letting that foot land onto the mat. And then we can bring that back up to our start position. We'll go ahead and reach through, grab hold of that right hamstring and pull that right knee towards our chest. And then we're going to go ahead and take that foot off of the knee, tuck it underneath, grab hold with that right hand. Right foot comes to the floor as the left knee drops down. So we're getting a nice little stretch through the hip flexor and the psoas on the left side of the body. And then we're going to go ahead and release, coming into reclining bound angle, reclining butterfly, letting the soles of the feet touch here as the knees drop open. And we take a few breaths. And then we can go ahead and release. Again, either rolling to one side or we can come up into our seated position. And then we can go ahead, take a nice big inhale up, letting the palms meet. And then coming back to heart center. Thank you.